whatever, just get into it. Hair doesn't matter. Some days it's gonna be good, some days it's gonna be bad. Does not matter, Taylor. Okay. Hey everybody, good morning, good day, good evening, whenever you are watching this. I hope you're able to add a little bit of sparkle, positivity, and good throughout your day. Welcome to Tao with Tay. I'm Tay, and this is my channel where I share daily meditations and some personal life stories to help add a little bit of peace and harmony back into my life, but maybe there's something that resonates with you and something that can bring a little peace and harmony into your life. Alright, so jumping right into the Daily Stoic, we have January 8th, Seeing Our Addictions. And I don't know about you, but this is coming at a very meaningful time for me. So we have our quote by Seneca from the Moral Letters. We must give up many things to which we are addicted, considering them to be good. Otherwise, courage will vanish, which should continually test itself. Greatness of the soul will be lost, which can't stand out unless it disdains as petty what the mob regards as most desirable. Is it just me, or sometimes these quotes just like totally go over my head, and I'm like, what? And then the blurb at the bottom, I'm like, oh, okay, layman's terms. Sometimes. Okay, so what we consider to be harmless indulgences can easily become full-blown addictions. Okay. We start with coffee in the morning, and soon enough we can't start the day without it. We check our email because it's part of our job, and soon enough we feel the phantom buzz of the phone in our pocket every few seconds. Soon enough, these harmless habits are running our lives. The little compulsions and drives we have not only chip away at our freedom and sovereignty, they cloud our clarity. We think we're in control, but are we really? As one addict put it, addiction is when we've lost the freedom to abstain. Let us reclaim that freedom. What that addiction is for you can vary. Soda, drugs, complaining, gossip, the internet, biting your nails. But you must reclaim the ability to abstain, because within it is your clarity and self-control. Again, this could not come at a better time because, okay, so we're on day 8, so that makes me 7 days into my sobriety right now. And I'm feeling better, especially on that like physical withdrawal level. But now it's like this emotional part of me is I'm kind of struggling in that. But within that, I felt such clarity. And not completely, but I have noticed this sense of like I can see clearly now, you know, like one of those kind of moments. I feel like there's been this like fog from my brain, or like I feel like my glasses have been smudged, and I've been seeing and trying to look around, and I'm like, well, I do see in front of me. I can technically see. And then when I got sober, it was like I cleaned my glasses with some Windex or glass cleaner, and I was like, holy shit, wait, hold on, this is what it's looked like all along. These colors, this brightness, this clarity. And I feel like I can feel my emotions now and actually start to process them and work through them. Instead of where before I was like, oh, let me just repress it. I don't want to feel it. Like they say, what we consider to be harmless indulgences can easily become full-blown addictions, and that's exactly what happened to me. I mean, like, yeah, I have addiction of like my phone, which I'm trying to get off of, or my addiction to coffee in the morning, which I don't have to have every single morning, and I'm not one of those people who's like, don't speak to me unless I've had my coffee. Like, I'm not that type of person. You can talk to me. I probably won't want to talk right away because I have social anxiety, but I don't need the coffee in order for you to talk to me. But what I used to need to do was I had to get high. I had to get high in order to feel like I could cope. And because I wasn't brought up with healthy coping mechanisms and skills, I found that within substances and using. And I used to think, oh, well, before I can go to the store to go grocery shopping, let me get high first. oh, before I can go here, I have to get high first. I remember, oh, before I can go to therapy, I have to get high first. And I started to think like, well, you know, things are recreational now. Or like, oh, other people do it and they're fine. Or look at the most functional stoner you know, Joe, that we all know, Joe Rogan, you know. But everyone's different. And I saw and felt mine becoming into a full-blown addiction. To the point where, again, like, I couldn't do anything unless I was high. It was almost like a safety net, or from that one Adam Sandler movie with the little kid, I think, what is it, Big Daddy, where he puts on the sunglasses and now he's like, oh, no one can see me. It kind of feels like that, like, safety net for oneself. But then I started to realize that because I'm abusing the substance, it's not being that safety net for me anymore. It's actually holding me back. It's actually making me make myself small. And that might not be for most people, but at least for me, that's how it is, and that's how it was. And you know, I couldn't even get through the day without, or get it through a moment without getting high. I was spending so much money in a pandemic that I don't have while I'm unemployed to get high. And it felt like it was chipping away at my freedom, because, like, I told my mom the other day, I'm like, I was late to everything in my life because I had to make room to get high first. Otherwise, I feel like I would panic. I couldn't do anything unless I was high. And now I'm realizing, like, shit, baby, now I've got the freedom to really do whatever I want. I mean, like, within the confines of our pandemic going on. But I do, now that I feel this clarity within myself, I feel like I have more freedom because I'm not depending on a substance to get me by. And you know, I would love it maybe in the future. I would love if I could be that person that's like, I'm just gonna have the glass of wine to celebrate it, you know, this nice restaurant with a nice dinner. But unfortunately, it doesn't stop with one glass of wine. And then I'm out for the next, you know, 2-3 days with the worst hangover, where I don't even want to live when I'm going through it because it's so painful. Or I would love it if I could just, at nighttime, you know, smoke a little bit. But unfortunately, for myself, in this phase of where I'm at, it doesn't stop there. And it was literally what I thought was a harmless habit. It turned into a harmful habit for me, and it literally was running my life. Again, I couldn't do anything unless I used. And so what am I doing with all this freedom now? Well, now I feel like I can actually work through my grievances, work through my traumas, work through the things that I've allowed to control my life. And I have this choice to not use, so that way I have the choice to better myself and to feel my feelings for once. Or I remember I used to think, like, because I have social anxieties, I thought, oh, well, you know, using makes, you know, it's that social lubricant. It helps me put my walls down and be able to talk to people, or go to this party, or do anything. And now I'm realizing that, like, it kind of made me feel like, yeah, to a certain extent, it did help me, like, open up and, like, you know, kind of get that social lubrication. But at the same time, I feel like it made me hide from a lot of people. Like, now for the first time, I feel like, oh, now I can have that little conversation across the driveways with my neighbors, where when I was high, I was like, no, I can't. Oh, don't talk to me, don't look at me. I remember even I would pretend to be on my cell phone walking from my car to my house. Like, oh yeah, you know, I went to the mall with Kelly. When it's like, now I feel with this clarity that I have the freedom and the choice to stand a little taller, to know myself a little bit better. And I feel like I can actually have kindness and compassion with other people now, where before I couldn't. It's all really mind-boggling. And again, I'm not saying that that's for everybody. This is just my personal experience. And who knows how long this is gonna last. I'm trying to do it for the whole full year of 21. Maybe it'll carry on into 22, 23. Maybe it'll be the rest of my life. I don't know. But I do have this sense of freedom. So what's something for you that you feel that is maybe having a little bit too much control over your life? That's maybe like boxing you in a little bit, even though you might have thought it wasn't. But like really sit down and see. Maybe it's something as simple, because we all have the problem with the internet and the smartphone. I constantly feel like this thing is, see? Now I'm like, oh, what? Mm-hmm. I constantly feel like this thing is buzzing, and it's not. Phantom buzzes. I also keep it on like silent mode, so it shouldn't even buzz anyways. Or maybe it's coffee for you, or who knows what it could be. So maybe let that sit with you for the day, for the week. What's something that you feel is that was harmless in the beginning, but now might be, I don't want to use the word harmful, but that might not be serving you as you once thought. And just kind of sit with that and see where you want to go from there. Because remember, you do have the choice to keep going down that path and to keep allowing that to have control over your life, or you have the choice to not and take that control back. But that is all up to you, and that's all up to me, and that's all up to us individually. So thank you so much for sharing your time and your energy with me today, this morning, this day, this evening, whenever it is. I look forward to seeing you into the next one, and I'll see you then.